photo for your daughter, Katharina. Photo up first. Photo with the mom.
Mother's love.
Center.
And then go.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations, baby. Good afternoon to everybody. It's overwhelming, but it's actually, I'm more excited meeting you guys. Because ever since Katharina entered into pageantry, you could imagine the algorithm has changed in my phone. So when I was speaking to you earlier, I was like looking at what's your handle. And it's so nice, to finally meet the beautiful people behind those names. And thank you so much for coming here. It brought me back to the place when I was doing media launches and product launches. So that was, before becoming a lawyer, that was my work. And so it brought me back to life and tears of my old life in Manila. And again, congratulations. And it's not about us, it's about my baby girl. And I also like to acknowledge, it's not only me, but I'd like to acknowledge Katharina's brother. Come up here, baby. Yeah. And Madison, Patrick's girlfriend, who is, by the way, the first time coming into Manila. So there's a whole lot of Filipino Kiwis who's going to be flying in the next couple of days, and we are so very fortunate that we have a really brilliant team here, and it's amazing how the pageantry in the Philippines and in New Zealand as well is becoming so popular and so hip. And again, thank you very much, everyone.
Smile. Smile. Stop.
Okay.
At least the one.
Oh.
Okay, sa Kiwi News po.
2024.
Of course. So first of all, I just like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your very busy schedules to spend the afternoon with me. It means a lot, especially for you being here on time. I know with Manila traffic, that's a very hard ask, so thank you for doing that. So I'd like to introduce myself to you personally. Hi, my name is KATHARINA WEISCHEDE, and I'm the Miss Asia Pacific International New Zealand 2024. So have any of you come or visited New Zealand before? Yes?
Later.
Christchurch, how did you like that?
Like it's very laid back.
Pardon?
Very laid back.
Very laid back, yes. And I think that's a key defining point of Kiwi culture. It's very laid back. But for you that have not visited New Zealand, I'd like to paint a little picture for you. So in New Zealand, there's a lot of green pastures, many mountains, and New Zealand culture is very ingrained in the outdoors. Unlike Manila, you can go around New Zealand bare feet. And New Zealand is a place that I like to call is very multicultural. Just last weekend or 2 weekends ago, I was in Wellington, and there's about 120 different ethnic groups within Wellington alone. So New Zealand is a very multicultural society, and I think that's my favorite part about it. Apart from what New Zealand is like, I'd also like to describe it as the land of firsts. If you didn't know, New Zealand was the first country in the world that allowed women the right to vote. It was the first country that allowed same-sex marriage, and so I like to think of it as a forerunner of innovation, or something that likes to go after things, and that's what I want to bring today. So apart from it being the land of firsts, and putting it in the context of Miss Asia Pacific International, we in New Zealand have not had the title in about 4 decades, and so I want to make this year the first year that New Zealand gains the Miss Asia Pacific International title within 40 years. A bit about me, if you don't already know, I am half Pinay, and I'm very close to my Filipino roots. So Miss Asia Pacific International being held here in Manila, the Philippines is so special because I like to call Manila my second home. I come here very often. I've been here about 3 times within this year doing my advocacies and my charity work, which actually started here in the Philippines when I was about 5 years old. So I started working with the street children and orphans with Scott Foundation, and that really opened my eyes to doing more in the world to see a positive change. And this is kind of what brought me into entering Miss Asia Pacific International, because I want to do more with the platform, because it empowers you to do more, to spread your message. And that is something that I learned with my first pageant journey. If you don't know, previously, when I started my pageant journey in 2023, I was Miss Philippines New Zealand. And so I joined that initially because it was a part of my way of figuring out my opinion. When I was doing an assignment in school, the assignment was to figure out what my stance on beauty pageants were, whether they were a shallow means of beauty or something that was truly, truly impactful. And so I found the latter. I found that it was something that was empowering and impactful and could do so much positive change in this world. And that's exactly what I loved about it. And so going into Miss Asia Pacific International, I want to use it as a way to spread my advocacies of telling young people, the youth, not only in the Philippines but in New Zealand, that their uniqueness is something that is celebrated and something that is so special. And so I really wanted to bring that back to Miss Asia Pacific International, because I find like the values of this pageant is something that truly aligns with me. It is something that aligns, I think, should be with everyone, because everyone in this room, everyone in the world is their individual person. We are all different, and that is something that we should celebrate, our different hues, our ideas, our uniqueness. And so this is really why I wanted to join Miss Asia Pacific International. I just wanted to do more for this world, and doing my advocacies, I wanted to show you a little bit about what I've been doing. So only a few days ago, I had 2 outreach events here in Manila, Philippines. One with He Cares Foundation, which is an organization that helps the street children. Every Saturday, they have a feeding program for about 150 to 300 kids. And so I've been regularly involved in that. And I just want to show you a little clip of what we've been doing here in the Philippines. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd have a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. This one's truly for you. And we can tell everybody that this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is when you're in the world. Excellent job of highlighting to the youth that you should embrace and you should indulge yourselves in your differences, because ultimately I think when we know who we are.
And finally, your family is here this afternoon supporting you, no? So, what role did your family play for you as a candidate?
My family plays a pivotal role in this Miss Asia Pacific International journey. They are my support system. They are there constantly to support me. As you can see, they're here today. They're in the background. They're part of my team. They're who I go to talk to. They're who is always going to be there for my back. And so they're playing a pivotal role, supporting me through kind words, supporting me by being there for me. Yeah.
Very articulate. Best of luck. See you
Thank you.
on the press presentation.
Yes.
New Zealand.
Yes.
Yan na. May anesthesia na.
Kiwi reports.
Fine. Okay.
So, proceed na tayo sa our favorite question. So, you can stand up.
Of course. Oh.
Wait, ano yan?
Okay. Hindi ko alam natin.
Wait lang? Yes, no?
Would you mind?
Would I mind? Would you mind?
Ano gagawin?
Okay. Please.
Please. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our favorite question. So, why should you be our next Miss Asia Pacific International?
I think that's the end-all be-all question, is it not? And I think there's so many factors that go into choosing who the next Miss Asia Pacific International should be. But I think first and foremost, that person for Miss Asia Pacific International should be a person who is ready, a person that is ready to do the mahi. If you don't know what do the mahi is, in New Zealand we have a saying which is do the mahi, do the hard work. And so I think and I believe that I am ready to take on this hard work. I've been doing my work since I can remember, whether this has been through charity work when I was 5, by starting my own business, through my unique qualities at 11, to standing up for what I believe in when I got into a corporate battle with a trademark giant over my business. It's about standing up for what you believe in, and I believe that the organization, and you can see that I'm willing to do the mahi, I'm willing to stand up and spread my message, the advocacy, that each and every person's unique qualities is something that should be celebrated. Their hues and their interests should be celebrated, and I'm here to do that work, and I'm ready.
2, 3.
KATHARINA WEISCHEDE, 18, New Zealand!
So my question is, would it be okay if you could share to us your pageant experience? When do you start your pageant career?
I started my pageant career about a year ago, and that was in October 2023 when I was doing Miss Philippines New Zealand. Prior to that point, I would like to say that I call myself at least an accidental beauty queen, because at that point, I only wore heels twice in my life. I did a YouTube of how to walk in heels. Full transparency, I was not great, but I know that from that experience and now having my amazing mentors like Tito R and JV, that I've grown so much from my previous Miss Philippines New Zealand, and my passerella is 100 times better. And for my preparations, I feel sometimes in the beauty pageant, industry, community, advocacies have always come really easy to me because it's been a part of my day-to-day, it's been a part of my growing up. And so I don't see that as necessarily pageant preparations, it's just something that I've always been doing, but in context of the pageant, it's something that I'm able to amplify doing and ask for more support and gain and further reach through Miss Asia Pacific International, yeah.
And at the age of 18, you're now joining an international pageant. What are your expectations when it comes to the international pageant?
I think that's a really good question. Coming into this international pageant, my expectations is just to grow and to show what New Zealand is all about. I have expectations of representing my country well and representing the communities, because I know that I'm not just here representing myself, I'm here representing an entire country, and I want to show the values that New Zealand holds on this stage. So my expectations are primarily for myself to do a good job at that.
And since you said that you are half Pinay and half New Zealander, is that correct, the term?
So Kiwi,
Kiwi.
We like to call ourselves Kiwis. We have Kiwi birds, Kiwi fruit, and then Kiwi people.
What specific values you have as a Pinay and as a Kiwi that you will bring to the Miss Asia Pacific International Pageant?
So I think the values of being a Pinay and a Kiwi sometimes overlap. If you heard me earlier, I said do the mahi. I think that both Filipinos and Kiwis, we have this common interest and this common value of doing the mahi, of doing the hard work, whether this be for opportunities for ourselves or for our families. And I think both of those, that quality stems from both being half Pinay and also having my Kiwi relations. But individualized, I think other qualities would be, I love singing, as you can tell. And I think that's a quality that I use to spread joy and to spread my message to the youth, because who doesn't like hearing a song that will empower them, a song that is meant for them, a message that is meant for them. And so I attribute that to my Filipina side. And then another different quality, I think, from New Zealand side is the fact that it's such a welcoming community. It's such a multicultural community. And so having that basis and understanding that we should accept each other's differences in this international world, in this multifaceted world, is something that I would definitely be bringing from my upbringing in New Zealand.
Last question. As an 18 years old, are you ready?
100%.
Thank you.
So we saw the video earlier. You visited the Daycare's Mission organization. Can you tell us your experience with kids, with the children?
Yeah. So my experience with He Cares has been somewhat of a recent one. I discovered the organization back in January when I did a Help Me, Help Them campaign. So I came and I flew to the Philippines gaining support from the New Zealand community. And so I visited 4 different organizations, including Scott Foundation, He Cares, Cribs Foundation, and Vision of Hope. And so those are all helping the street children and the orphans here in the Philippines from different ages and sometimes different backgrounds. For example, Cribs Foundation is all about helping the young girls who may have been abused, whether that is sexually or physically. And so He Cares is all about the difference with He Cares, and what I really love about it is it's inspiring and it's helping the youth educate themselves further. It's helping them go through universities, through primary school, getting that basic education. And so though my time with He Cares has been short and knowing who they were only this year, it has been something that I hold really close to my heart.
So follow-up question, your favorite Filipino food and why?
Oh, there's so many good Filipino food. There's so much. Actually, when we first entered the country, upon arrival, our first meal was actually manginasal. We went straight for it. But lumpia is definitely one of my favorites because I just have so many fond memories of making it with my family and my grandma and my cousins and sharing that with Kiwis in New Zealand. So that is one of my favorites. But I think my other favorite would have to be taho. And that's because I have memories of when I was younger coming to the Philippines. And before going into the office with my mom and my dad for their business trips, there would always be the taho man outside the office. And it was my favorite treat. And every time I'm here, like, we have to wake up super early to catch the taho man. He doesn't age.
Good luck, dear.
Thank you.
Alright, and I think we have one.
So I would like to say, first of all, thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be here. I would also like to say, before we all leave, that I know it's 2 people's birthdays in this room, and so I'd want to celebrate with you those birthdays, and we actually have some cakes to give you. So.
Let's have Oyel. Alright. Let's have Oyel on stage. As well as Sir Nolly. Celebrate your birthday. Can you
Okay, and you are going to sing with me. Come on the stage. Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Okay, are you ready to make your wish? Make your wish.
Did you know kiss? Say no kay Kuya. Blow! Blow, Ariel! Blow!
Alright, photo op with the birthday people and their cake. Katharina and Oyel this time.
Journey to learn more about the values of New Zealand, to see what it's about, and to see my journey throughout this entire pageant process. I really want to share that with you on my socials, which is at katharina.weischede. It's a bit tricky to spell as it's a German last name, so it's at KATHARINA.WEISCHEDE. So I'd love to have you on my pageant journey, your support, and to follow along. Thank you so much.